this week ago. Lot y'all got me speaking slow. Let on GA. You tryna? Yes on yes on yes on yes. Say less. Say less. You ain't got. You ain't go. Say less. Yeah. Say less. Hey girl, what it do? If you got friends, cool, bring a few through. No fun if the homies now. R.I.P. Nate Dogg, this too true. And you know what I'm down for. Round 2, round 3, and a round 4. Move switch when she knocked at the front door. Next up was the uproar. Yeah, was like a week ago, but we both know how weekends go. Trying to talk off.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. In today's game, we should look to the war up front. The Panthers are #1 in rushing yards, going up against the Eagles, who will need to be strong up front. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, with a beautiful skyline towering just to the right of us, you get a look inside Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. Just a moment ago, the lights, the cameras, the action, all the pyrotechnics, everything was ablaze, everything was allowed here in Bank of America Stadium as Carolina emerged from their tunnel. And we are ready to go as the Panthers get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they enter play here. They're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Here's Christian McCaffrey to return it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll be brought out by their seventh-year man out of Auburn, the 2015 NFL MVP. It's Cam Newton.
And what a performance in his last game. A couple of touchdown passes. That was positive.
But more than 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that's not what he's looking for. What did Vince Lombardi say, though? Winning isn't everything.
It's the only thing.
And that's what he hangs his hat on after last week's game.
On first down, it's Newton. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Newton. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Fletcher Cox coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good. That middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well. And he's got it.
And what about this offense, Charles? Specifically, what about Jonathan Stewart?
He makes sure everything goes. Put the ball in his chest and watch him run. Can run with power inside, but has enough speed that when he gets outside, he can cause a lot of trouble.
To throw on second down is Newton. Escaping the pressure right. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than the ball.
Now Stewart on first down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The numbers in last week's game for Stewart. He hit pay dirt so many times we almost lost track. Every time we turned around, he was in the end zone.
And those weren't all just one-yard plunges either, partner. I mean, he ripped off a few long jaunts as well.
Cam's going to run the option right. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll lead here to a third down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Newton now to throw. And that is incomplete.
This goes to the goal line. You got to be very careful with the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
And Gano's kick is right through. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. And the first 3 points of the night belong to our home team as they get the field goal on the game's initial drive.
A good, solid drive. It didn't wind up in the end zone, but that's okay. You got something positive on the board, and you got the early lead.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Leading them is their second-year quarterback, also the number 2 overall pick a season ago, Carson Wentz.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Quickly now a look at the Eagles offensive starters.
Darren Sproles is the active leader in receptions by a running back, but he can also run the football inside and to the perimeter. Has fantastic moves, quickness, vision, and strength when he tries to pull away from tacklers. And then you throw in his kick return ability, where he's gone to multiple Pro Bowls in that position.
They'll run again with Blunt. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, and for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
Now Wentz on third down. Going up top. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Donnie Jones set to punt it away now in his 14th year in the NFL. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
Newton on first down. And Olsen over the middle. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
We've been together a little while now, partner. How often do we actually describe tight ends as nifty? Because that's what I think of when I see Greg Olsen on the field. His ability to run routes, create space and separation, and make those catches downfield.
Yeah, sure consistent. The numbers the last couple of years almost identical, and both over 1,000-yard seasons. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. Out of the gun, Newton. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
And now a 1st down following that long gain. A shotgun snap for Newton. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary.
And that'll be caught. Panthers touchdown. It's Benjamin with a grab. Kelvin Benjamin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Plays there on that drive. And Carolina scores to cap it off. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken near the 13. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And out now come the Eagles. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
If they open things up, let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Now Blunt. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. And the starting defense here for the Panthers.
When I saw that the Carolina Panthers were ranked 21st in total defense in 2016, I thought it was a misprint. This is a very talented defense, but they didn't play up to those standards in 2016. Perhaps the loss of Josh Norman at corner hurt them in the secondary. Luke Kuechly, their middle linebacker and their heart and soul of their defense, wasn't able to play a complete season, and they didn't get the same pass rush in 2016 that they had in the previous year when they went to the Super Bowl.
Again, here's Blunt. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
That man has still got it. Thomas Davis can do it all. Drop into coverage, rush the quarterback, and, of course, make plenty of tackles.
Closing in on 1,000 career tackles and consistent. Last year, 106 tackles, the year before 105.
College safety turned linebacker in the NFL. What a career. You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off, and he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. Time for our players spotlight, and it focuses in here on Cam Newton. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 10-zip our score. We're back to Uptown Charlotte after this timeout.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Brandon Graham in there to get him. And that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
On second down, here's Newton. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. Third down here.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
To throw is Newton. Got his target, Samuel. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. On 1st and 10, Newton. Olsen too much. Oh, battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz. Got him into the right protection scheme so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
On 1st down, Newton. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. Here's Newton. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Chris Long in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack. We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
From the red zone now, Newton. Flush to his right. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. The play fake to Stewart. It's Newton. And that'll be incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time. And it's 3rd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here.
No more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, Newton. A dump off here to Stewart. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And this is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
The drive starts with a handoff to Blount. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
So under the category of, while it can't be us because we're not that good, but could you imagine if this was you? LeGarrette Blount, his first 1,000-yard season since, what, 2010, his rookie year? And 18 touchdowns in the regular season, and no longer with New England.
He is over 30 now. He turned 30 in December. I don't know if that played a factor, but yeah, such a productive year, and then he's gone.
Well, that just tells you this. Now he's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder trying to prove something.
And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
This is taken at the 18. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Heading back on the field is Jonathan Stewart. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
We often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. They go play action here on 1st down. Rolling to his right. Now he's going to throw it. That's caught inside the 20. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. They give him a gain of 37.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And no escaping this time. Jordan Hicks not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Timmy Jernigan in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. A minute 59 to go in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. It's caught by Aguilar. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. First down now, but the clock continues to move. From midfield, here's Wentz. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Charles Johnson in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Look, Carolina had a number of issues last year, and that's why they slumped to 6-10 after a Super Bowl appearance. But pass rush wasn't a problem for them. They still got to the quarterback.
47 total sacks. That was just one behind Arizona, who led the league.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue for them, young corners, they gave up a lot of big plays.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Wentz. Screen pass to Sproles. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So it's halftime here in Charlotte with the Panthers out on top. As we'll send you down the coast to Orlando where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Okay, Brandon, thanks. And welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get to the highlights. The Panthers are happy to be sitting in the locker room with the lead. The Eagles won't panic either. They know they just need to take it one play at a time. So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. Moving now to late in the first. Cam Newton to his big target, Kelvin Benjamin. And he'll be tackled at the 21-yard line. Later on the drive, Benjamin's wide open, able to make the grab. And this 4-play drive goes for a touchdown. Now midway through the second, Hicks is going to take down the QB here. This ends up as a loss of 9. Panthers now later on the drive. The pass ends up being picked off. McLeod's reading the play and comes away with it, ending the drive. That'll do it from here in Orlando. Let's get you up to North Carolina for the second half with Brandon and Charles. Gents.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Wentz will try again on second down. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it third down. The Eagles on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. And, Charles, this infraction's going to be against the offense, false start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still third down.
The Eagles on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Yeah, he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he hits his man, Matthews. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. Second down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the two defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down right around the 25. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Yeah, every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. So now on is Caleb Sturgis for the Eagle field goal. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And Sturgis able to knock it through. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points.
Roughing a kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Fresh set of downs here. Wentz going to give this one to Blunt. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked #1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Mike Adams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. To throw on second down is Newton. Benjamin with it over the middle. A nice gain of 21 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Wide open receiver complete. That one goes for 24 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Second and 10, Newton again. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Brandon Graham in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Newton. Taking a shot for Samuel. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
So it's 3rd and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they're bringing an extra defensive back and just blanket the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And they'll go Wentz to Blunt here. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Shotgun now for Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Donnie Jones now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game?
And that's caught inside the 35. And they'll get him to the ground, but he got all the way down to the 30-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Timmy Jernigan in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
And Olsen over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. They start on the ground here with Blunt. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Wentz now giving to Blunt on the draw. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. An Eagle 1st down, Wentz to Ertz. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown.
Play. Now they've got momentum going, so, you know, I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at him while you've got him rocked under.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Panthers have recovered.
And this is something that you know that they're emphasizing, you know they're working on, but it has to improve. Carson Wentz lost 14 fumbles as a rookie, and the NFL is just different. When you're in the pocket, you're always at risk of that ball being jostled out.
And if memory serves, those 14 fumbles tied with Carson Palmer for most in the NFL. Carolina getting set to take the field. They'll start the drive with a run by Stewart. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They go play action with Stewart. Now Newton. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances, putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here?
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Wentz now on 1st down. And he dumps it off to Blount. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Hurts over the middle. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Once again here on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Burton. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And that's a big collision. He's knocked backward as they will mark him down at the 14. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Now a play fake here on first down. And he slides to avoid the hit. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. They'll run it here with Blunt. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3 and out.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Back now on EA Sports. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They start on the ground. This is Stewart on first. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Newton's going to throw it. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Newton. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. Newton to throw. They'll roll him out right. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. And this is a spot where you can learn a lot about a young quarterback.
And that's why they brought him into the organization, because you don't just bring them in strictly for their talent. You think that they have that something special in them that will allow them to function in these types of situations. Now it's time for them to be clinical and not emotional. You know your play sequence. You know what has to get done. Get the ball to the right people. Get out of bounds and get it downfield and try and score.
Yeah, he's trying to earn his stripes here for a winning drive. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Now Wentz signaling frantically. Let's get to the line. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Charles Johnson in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time, because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
Now Wentz got to have this one. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 19 yards on the play. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Back to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
And the yellow flag hurts this offense, and now they face a tough 3rd down. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Aguilar has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 21 that time. And it'll be a Philadelphia first down. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. He'll look to throw. Pressure there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Adams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Throwing here, Newton. Steps away to his left. And off his back foot, he'll heave this one deep. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
Have to give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. They were prepared. Ordinarily, when they take the big shot downfield to the big guy, that's usually a mismatch that the offense is used to winning. But the preparation showed for the defense, and they were able to bat it away.
Eluding the pressure right. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost felt like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
I
You loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for the Panthers, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll get the weekend off now as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the Washington Redskins. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Panthers are winners here as we say so long from Charlotte.
Young Gerald. Yeah. Die line with the boom pow. Every week now I switch to a new style. 212s in the back just blew out. Everything I do end up in the news now. Yeah. Lead a club with a few now. Just some Hollywood girls and they do. I'm in the mood now. 2 a.m. What you wanna do now? What you wanna do now? Little baby pass.
Scouting points are earned every week. Make sure you use all of your points. A portion of your remaining points will be lost when you advance the week.
What's her name? Isabella. Forget it. Yeah. It's like a week ago, but we both know how weekends go.
Scouting points are earned every week. Make sure you use all of your points. A portion of